freshman to English 101 here at Duke University. Now, because of the kerfuffle last week when someone got a bit offended by some reading material, we will not, in fact, be reading the graphic lesbian novel Fun Home this semester.
Oh, thank goodness. Come on.
But, okay, let's just go ahead and move on to our first reading assignment, which I really hope you were all okay with, the Mother's Girl Scout Cookbook.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why don't you take those out, and we're gonna jump right in. Maybe let's turn to page 14 and start there. Okay?
Actually, Miss Nash, I remember the phrase "shake vigorously" popped up quite a lot in the salad dressing category.
Okay, that's a great observation, Earl. So, what does that mean to you?
Well, I just think if somebody without arms or legs was trying to read a cookbook, they'd feel pretty left out, and I don't think that's very nice.
Well, you know what? Let's examine that. Why do you think that someone with no arms and no legs would want to cook in the first place?
Well, God, they're not completely useless. They have some things to offer society. Like,
That is not what I was discussing. Okay, you know what? Look, guys, let's just move on to the next reading assignment, okay? Why don't you go ahead and put out your copies of the 1996 Plymouth Acclaim Owner's Manual, because I am bound and determined to find something that we can really dissect, okay?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything offensive in here.
Yeah, I'll turn to page 109.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, Miss Nash, it says right there, if you have a flat tire, you gotta get the jack out of the trunk.
That's right, yes, and that is what? It's a declarative sentence, meaning...
Declaring my self-conscious feeling about the fact that I used to be Jack, and now I'm not Jack, because I took a job at Pizza Hut to afford university tuition.
Okay, look, all right, let's examine that issue that you brought up, personal accountability or the lack thereof. I mean, given the fact that, you could have chosen not to eat the food at Pizza Hut, or maybe go to the gym and work out.
Whoa, I didn't know the fat stopple was rounding up the usual suspects. Sheesh.
Yeah, Mrs. Nash, what did the prereq for this class turn into? Having a 2-inch thigh gap?
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, we can read Us Weekly for heavy doses of sentence structure and impossible beauty standards.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cindy.
yes, all right, let's just put those owner's manuals aside, and we're gonna move on, okay? Now, there's going to be nothing offensive, I assure you, about what we're about to read. It's the Merriam-Webster's 1996 dictionary, which, as you know, is simply a list of all the words in the human or English language, at least, out of context, right? There's no context, right? And you can bet that all the words you know are going to be in there, so there's going to be no surprise triggers at all, okay?
Or for non-Russian
Good.
I hate to say anything, but my grandpa would get really drunk, and he would just tear the pages out of the dictionary if they had words he thought were too pedestrian. So, I mean, as a kid, I'm going to have a problem with this. It really affected me.
Okay, Brian, let's talk about that.
Okay.
So you have a problem with reading a book that is simply a list of all the fucking words in the English language. That's going to be a problem for you.
No, it's not the book, it's the turning the pages that's traumatic. I mean, if someone else turns the pages, and I'll just look away and have noise-canceling headphones.
All right, guess what, kids? Listen up. You're going to get a nice big life lesson from Mrs. Nash right now. Guess what, guys? You're not always going to agree with everything, all right? There are sometimes going to be things that might hurt your feelings or piss you off. But guess what? That is life, and you can't avoid it, so you better start getting used to it, all right?
Yeah,
Okay. Sure, while I'm young, I suppose. Sure.
Yeah.
Good. In that case, we are going to read my favorite novel by my favorite author, Mr. Mark Twain. This is the great American classic, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Now, you will notice some antiquated language which by today's standards may be morally objectionable.
What?
Jim. It's Jim.